What's up, tribe? This is Black Ink Crew, season 4, episode 4. Look, I need y'all to go ahead and hit that subscribe button before we get started. And I hope you like this video. Now, this is getting ready to be a spoiler alert. So, if you don't want to know the spoiler, fast forward about 30 seconds. So, here's the spoiler alert. If you follow any of the people from Black Ink Crew on social media, you will know that the whole Nine Mad crew was in Jamaica last week, and I wasn't sure if I saw Ashley or not. I don't know if I saw Ashley, but it was for Nikki, Charmaine, Danielle, Don, Van. So that means Van off parole because they were in Jamaica. I'm happy for you, boo. You can leave the country. But they were all there together. And guess who else was there? Ryan and Rachel. So I don't know if this was like a kumbaya thing and they were working out some problems or what the deal was. I don't even know. They might even have started filming for next season. And this is part of the storyline. Like, I don't know. But I just thought it was interesting that they were all together in Jamaica. And I'm sure we're going to be seeing that. But they were on everybody's social media. And it was even... Junior was there too. There was even some footage of Ryan and Ford together. Of course, Ryan and Junior together. I didn't see a whole lot with like Van and Ryan or whatever. But anyway, so this week's episode starts off with the crew hanging out. They out having a little game night at the bar, playing some ping ball, playing pool, whatever, and trying to figure out what their next move is going to be. They find out that Ryan is hiring people, and they figured out, oh, he must be getting ready to open up another shop. He posted on social media that he's looking for people, whatever. And of course, Charmaine is going off. Ford's trying to talk to her and trying to say, look, so what? Excuse me. Excuse me. He's trying to be like, look, stop tripping. Like, okay, we know what Ryan did. Like, let's stop talking about it. And Charmaine won't shut up. Ford ended up throwing a chair to get her to shut up so he could say what he got to say. And basically, he's like, look, let's just figure out what our next move is going to be. Ryan is doing what Ryan is going to do. But us sitting here dwelling on it, us sitting here talking about it is not going to make nothing happen. So they decided to figure out a way to open up a new shop. But they know they got to get some money and all that good stuff. So they look like they started to try to figure it out. I don't know why it took them 4 episodes to figure out, to just pull their resources and open up a shop. Even though they talking about let's all be equal partners. I mean, that's a later on conversation, but you already see that's not going to work. Like, that's a disaster waiting to happen. But anyway, then we flip over to Ryan at his new shop, getting ready for the Chicago Tattoo Convention. And his thing is, he hiring a new crew. He got some new people in the shop. Rachel's there. They trying to get everything together. He's got his posters and all of that. And basically, he's like, look, I'm opening up a new shop. I hired an army of people for the convention. They may not be around past next week, but I need to make it look good for the convention. Basically, when I show up to the convention, I got to make it look like I'm already got everything together. I don't want it to look like it's just me by myself. He was like, I know what the word on the street is. I know people are making it seem like I just left everybody high and dry and there's no more 9 Mag. But I need to let the world know 9 Mag is still here, just without them. We'll get there. Then we have a really heartbreaking scene with Don, Ashley, and the kids. Now, let me say this. I'm gonna tell you the scene first, and I'll give you my 2 cents. Ashley's going to Texas, which I'm glad because I thought she was going to change her mind. But no, she's going to Texas, but she did change her mind about taking the kids. She decided she's going to take the baby, but she's going to leave DJ with Don because school is not out, and, she's like, he is a good father, and I don't want to uproot him in the middle of the school year. So, I'm going to let him stay here with his dad and so he can finish out the school year, and then we'll figure out the next move at that time. Of course, Don is like, I ain't with it. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. The kids shouldn't be separated. Just because you mad at me don't mean you got... Motherfucker, you lucky she's compromising with your ass. Because, again, I said this in other videos, and I feel the way I feel. If you don't like it, take her to court. But if you don't take her to court, then she has custody. And if she want to take them kids to Texas, unless you go to court and you get a judge to say different, she can take them kids to Texas. Point blank, period. What you going to do? Kidnap her, hold her captive. What do you want to do? Um, and if he say one more time that kids need their father, I do know that kids need their father, and that's why she's keeping the son here. Like, that's the best I can do right now. That's the best compromise I can give you right now. And anything more than that, you're just asking for too much right now. I'm not ready for anything more than what we're doing here. Now, this is how I feel about the situation. I'm cool with the decision that Ashley made. I think that, one, for her own mental stability right now, that's what she needs. She needs to be away from the situation. She needs to be away from Don. I totally respect the fact that she's like, right now, I can't be here. I respect that. And I respect the fact that she tried to make a compromise with Don. Now, here's what my problem is. I really, truly hope that this scene, I wish they had done this scene without the kids being present. Especially DJ, who's old enough to understand what's going on. He doesn't understand all of what's going on, but he's old enough to understand enough of what's going on. I wish it had just been Ashley and Don having the conversation, because I really hope that y'all had already had this conversation prior to this meeting. I hope you didn't just spring it on him saying, okay, here, you're going to keep your child. I said your father. You're going to keep your child, and I'm getting on the plane in an hour. Because basically, she left from there and went straight to the airport. That's the way she made it seem. Like, she's like, we got a flight today, and we about to head to the airport. I hope that's not how that went down. I hope that scene was taped for the purposes of the show. But I wish it had been done without the kids being there. Like, the kids didn't need to be there for that. I believe what Don and Ashley are going through is real. Like, I don't think that this is hyped up for the show, but I think that certain scenes were taped at certain times. So I just wish that the scene had been, I think I said that 3 times, so I'm not going to say it again. But yeah, I don't have a problem with what Ashley is doing, and I think that she's doing the best thing that she can do for herself at this time. Now, okay. Then we see Lily call a meeting. Right now, they're sort of like all operating out of Van's warehouse, where he has his Chicago Rilla warehouse and everything. He said the fashion show went well, but he still ain't, he's not at a place where he can just let it go and just 100% just do the Chicago Rilla. Like, he still needs to be doing tats. Lily calls a meeting. All of them start showing up at Chicago Rilla, and Van is like, what? Like, he thought they were just coming to hang out. Come to find out, Lily done called a meeting. Lily's idea is, let's go to Chicago, to the Chicago convention, to the tattoo convention. We can make some money there. We can stack some money, maybe get some new clientele, build up our clientele network or whatever for this shop that we're trying to open up. And at first they were all like, they were kind of not really feeling it, but Lily sold it. And she was making a lot of sense. It's one of the biggest tattoo conventions, and they can network and all that good stuff. So they kind of made some sense, and they decided they was going to do it. And that's when they decided they were going to have a whole, they were going to do a new shop, but they were going to all be equal partners. That's a disaster. That's not going to work. Oh my God, that's not going to work. You got too many personalities in the pot. I don't know how they would be able to do it, but it's too many personalities in the pot. And then, and what the Charmaine don't do nobody's tattoo, so like, she's like really in it, like in it. But at the end of the day, you're not making no money for the shop. I don't understand. So, I understand you down for non-mag and all that, but I don't understand. So since they decided that they're going to all work together and everything is going to be on the up and up, Lily pulls Charmaine aside to say, look, I'm not really trying to get in the middle of no mess, but I don't want this to be out there and then, basically come to find out later on that I knew and I didn't say nothing. That's your good move. That's a good move, Lily, to come clean. Say, look, I knew about it. I ain't had nothing to do with it, and I ain't trying to be messy, but, I don't want the reunion to roll around and y'all found out I knew and I ain't say nothing. So she tells Charmaine about Velvet and Terrence and she shows her the text messages and she tells her the whole thing. So of course Charmaine is like, yo, not only is Danielle my cousin, that's my best friend. Like, I gotta tell her what's going on. Like, I gotta give her the deal. So she calls her over to the house. Now, Charmaine is packing a move. And she was like, nah, Mag ain't the only one that got a lease up. My lease is up too. And, out with the old and in with the new. So did her and Terrence break up? But again, spoiler alert, I saw them on IG Live like 2 weeks ago when they was all booed up. So the way she said it, she didn't say it like we're moving up. Like she didn't say it like that, because just because your lease is up don't mean you have to move. You just sign a new lease, right? Unless either A, they no longer want to live there, or B, the leasing company no longer wants them to live there. But if everything has been cool, you've been paying your rent on time, you ain't tore up no walls, it shouldn't be a problem with y'all renewing y'all lease, right? I mean, that's how that works. So we're going to put that on to the side, because I don't know. We haven't seen Terrence, so I don't know if he's still in Africa. I don't know if they done broke up. Like, I don't know what the dealio is, right? So, well, yeah, we know he's still in Africa. That's where the season started, by Charmaine saying that he was still in Africa, and they were keeping in touch through FaceTime and stuff. So that doesn't, I don't know why. All right. That's something they haven't touched. They just showed her moving. She tells Danielle about the text messages and stuff. And, of course, Danielle is like, she's hurt. She reacts the way she's hurt. She's a little embarrassed. You see the producers talking about did you know anything about this? And Danielle was like, no. Like, that's a dumbass fucking question. Like, if she knew anything about it, that was a dumb question. But you see what she's kind of in shock by the whole thing. Like, she really looks upset. And she's like, well, I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I'm going to find out what's really good, what's really going on. All right. So, she confronts Terrence. And to Terrence's credit, he don't deny it. He was like, look, I messed up. He does deny that anything sexually happened between them. He said that we met up at the beach. Everything was cool. We exchanged information. See, the beach was where that oral transaction happened. Probably is according to what Velvet said. But everything is cool. And we just exchanged numbers and we just been texting. But, I'm wrong. I shouldn't have been doing it. But, it's really nothing. And then Danielle was like, what? I think Danielle was ready to believe him. Had he denied it, I feel like Danielle was ready to believe him and ready to move on with the situation. But when he admitted it, then her attitude was kind of like, what? And she ended up walking out. She gave him the ring. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, Van and his daughter. The cutest thing happened. Van is having dinner. Oh, and his girl Jen's there. They're at the apartment. So I didn't see her. I didn't know where Jen went, but Jen's there, y'all. They're at the apartment. His daughter's phone blowing up. Come to find out, she got a little boyfriend. So Van is like, oh, I need to meet him. And of course, Van meets up with the boy, and he does what you expect Van to do. Who are you? What's your name? How old are you? Giving him the third degree. And the little boy looks scared, but the little boy answering his questions, being real polite. Then all of a sudden, like 10 mofos looking just like Van, all buff and stocky and stuff, come walking up the street. He was like, oh yeah, did I forget to mention that the daddy squad was coming? These are all my friends. These are all her other fathers, and they want to make sure that you cool. So Van goes over the rules, talking about something, these are the rules of dating my daughter. If she get to a door, how she gonna go through the door? Oh, I'm gonna open the door, sir. Something else he said to her. Then, of course, he was like, and no hanky-panky. Don't be touching my daughter in the show. In Chicago, they call the movies the show. So, in the show, don't touch her. Don't touch her on her butt. Don't be rubbing on her chest. Like, all of this stuff. And she was like, Daddy, stop. Like, why you gotta, stop? You know what I mean? Why you gotta make everything so weird? He was like, this is what I do. All right. It was cute, though. It really was. It was a cute little scene. I appreciated it. He was like, this is my princess, and you're going to respect her as such. And if something happened, you got to deal with me. I'm cool with that. I don't have no problem with it. I don't feel like, he didn't put his hands on the boy. He did get in his face a little bit, but, a lot of it was for the show, and all that. But here's my problem. Don was there. Don, if you don't go sit your ass down and go worry about taking care of the princess that you disrespecting, that you married to, started worried about Van daughter and who she dating and who disrespecting her, Van got that covered. You got other princesses you need to worry about. You worry about how you treating the princess that you got. Well, she ain't living in your house no more. The princess down in Texas. You worried about how this boy going to treat her. You worry about how you treating her, Ashley. I couldn't believe that. I said, Don got the audacity to be here trying to be all big and bad about how this boy going to treat this little girl, and he out here disrespecting women on fucking Snapchat. Go sit your fine ass down. Shit. I was like, I don't believe this. Anyway. Alright. So we all at the convention, right? Y'all knew that was going to happen. They called, what they called, the new 9 Mag, what they call themselves, Van and them, they calling themselves the Loyal Inc. crew. Cute name, whatever. So they're there. Of course, Ryan is on, doing his thing. He got the whole 9 Mag booth set up. Now, you are not going to sit here and tell me that they didn't know that Ryan was in the house until they started walking around. They walking around trying to drum up customers and trying to drum up clientele, and they see Ryan, and he did with his whole little crew. They got on matching t-shirts and stuff. So of course Charmaine and Danielle go running back talking about Ryan is here and he got a whole crew and they are calling themselves 9 Mag. It's his shop, it's his name. He can call. It's like when Barry Gordy owned the name The Temptations. He could put 5 random motherfuckers on stage and call them The Temptations all day long. And it wasn't nothing that Dennis could do about it. Dennis, Otis, Mark, Melvin, none of them. They couldn't do shit about it. So Lily decides she's going to confront Ryan. And Lily's thing is this. Like, I get how the whole thing went down, but I didn't do nothing to you. I didn't have nothing to do with that whole cat situation. That shit happened before I got there. I was just a victim of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I never disrespected you until you left us high and dry. Until you left us hanging. Yeah, then I was like, fuck Ryan. But before that, I wasn't disloyal to you. I didn't disrespect you. But you didn't, you brought me here. Like, the only reason why I'm in Chicago is because of you. And you didn't even give me the respect of a phone call to say, hey, this is what's happening. And instead of Ryan saying, you know what, you're right. Like, you got caught up in all of this bullshit. You got caught up in the crossfire. And I owed you that. Like, I'm not changing my mind, but I did owe you that. Ryan ass was like, so what? So what? The fuck? I just had to leave that there. And, that's just what it is. It just is what it is. Like, be humble. Like, nobody is questioning that you had a right to shut the shop down. I just don't like how you did it. I feel like you owed them enough to give them some sort of notice that you were closing the shop. But you had every right to close the shop. You had every right to fire every single one of those motherfuckers. You had every right to open up a new shop on the other side of town to do exactly what you're doing. The problem is the way you're handling it. And Lily's situation, she didn't have nothing to do with none of that cat stuff. For real. And for you to not even be humble enough to say, you know what? You right, Lily. You got caught up in this. But your attitude is so nasty that then Lily was, don't take Lily but a second. Then Lily was like, well, fuck you then. Y'all know Lily. It don't take her but a minute. So, of course, once she got going, then Ryan was like, all right, well, fuck you then. All right, another one bites the dust then. Cool, whatever. But she wasn't acting like he was really trying to be cool with her. So, of course, while this is going on, here come Van and Charmaine and everybody walking up on them. And, they're like, well, what's up, Ryan? He like, what's up? And Van is like, yo, man, what are you doing? Here go Van. I got it tattooed on my head. Nobody give a fuck about what you got tattooed on your head. Ryan don't give a fuck. And so they get to arguing, but Van walks away. They're trying to calm Van down because, of course, Van's still on parole. He really don't need to be fighting or causing no scenes or doing a whole bunch of shit outside of the comfort of 9 Mag, for real, because, see, at the convention center, you do that fighting and shit, somebody calling the police for real. So they trying to calm him down. They like, come on, let's go. Like, fuck it. We just going to, let's go. Rachel come through there talking about something. The bitch is here. The bitch is here. Rachel, go sit down. You ain't got nothing to do with this. You don't have nothing to do with this. Go sit your ass down. Charmaine was like, yo, Like, man, you don't even really need to talk right now. And Rachel was like, look, this is my family, and I don't really give a shit about nothing else but this is me, this is mine, this is my family, and I'm going to take care of mine. I'm going to protect mine. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Go sit down. Go over there. So that's pretty much where that whole scene ended. And of course, Ryan is like, that's why I had to get away from that toxic stuff. I just had to get away from that. That's why I just had to get away from all that toxic shit. And that's pretty much where the episode ended. Look, y'all. I already said what I got to say about it. Like I said, Ryan, your attitude is the problem. Your attitude is the problem. You have a right to not want to fuck with them no more, but just, if you're going to be a businessman, it's just a way you handle business, and you're just not handling your business right. I'm sorry. Now, they don't need to be going, Van is extra, Charmaine is extra, but Lily really came at you like, yo, what's up? Like, you really left me hanging for no reason. And you were real disrespectful to her. You were real nasty to her, and it was unnecessary. So anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think in them comments. Drop it down. What y'all think? Y'all think Ashley was right or wrong? How y'all think she handled it? And Dawn and Ford didn't even show up. They weren't even there. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's a reason why they didn't show up. I don't know what the situation is, but they weren't even there. All right, y'all. Drop it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Peace.